So the moon technology standardly, it fills its cup and then it releases and downpours and drizzles its cup metaphysically. And that technology is literally doing that. And as it is on the downpour, it's still reacting and inhabiting effects of the moon itself, the technology itself, receiving energies per its cycle as how it goes up and down, because it's not to say that the West is more advanced in an esoteric level than the East, end quote. It's not to say that. It's that we all have our ups and downs, and we all have our alternations of maybe in a certain time frame, for like just in just an example, a metaphorical example, a ballpark estimate is like just a time period of 300 years, where to bring that point up is to say like there's a standard hierarchy where there's some advanced people and then there's lower class and middle class. And it's like, why is it that there's lower class and middle class and higher class? Because there's esoteric reasons and spiritual reincarnation systems we don't understand. But it's to say like there's been some sort of evolution tipping point that's in the West respectively, and there's an oscillation effect because we're all like kind of like yinning and yanging, with the East and the West are yinning and yanging because we're depending on the East for the old codes, and now we're depending on West to innovate those codes, right? So within those codes are innovating and they're cycling in a yin and yang energy. So it's not to say that the West is more like ahead than the East. It's not to say that. It's to say that we all play our part and we reincarnated based on different spiritual purposes and karmas, and we ended up where we ended up, and we all could help each other out and share with each other amongst the general energies of congratulations, we made it into the new sun cycle of Sagittarius season. Moon is in Leo right now, and what Moon in Leo is speaking to me is Leo energy is like, it's really like persevering for the treasure chest, doing the hard work to crack the code and get the prize, right? Just energetically, because the moon is in Leo. I'm going to check my memory right now. And within moon in Leo, it's a downpouring charge. It's like it's still receiving, but it's receiving it as a lesser charge, you know? Because once the new moon cycle, once there's a new moon in Sag and the moon has a resetted cycle, then the moon is going to start a new charge energy cycle as it's aligned with the sun from Sag, and then the moon will have a new energetic esoteric narrative storyline that will go from Sag all the way to full moon in Gemini, give or take, right? So within that, before the new moon cycle, there's a new sun cycle, and I could do like a different, like I might have to turn on the other phone to do a different reading of just the new sun in Sagittarius. And you know, esoterically and intuitively, it's like this is like spiritual territory type of shit. You know, it's like people are like, they could be really like quote unquote territorial with this shit, you know? That's what the human design insights of Sag is telling me intuitively, and there's nothing wrong with that. But that's the thing, we don't know the esoteric spiritual hierarchy and the shit that's going behind the scenes. So that's why people could respond and react like with this like plunderfuck of just like, whoa, I didn't know that could happen, shock, awe campaign, what the heck is happening type of shit. That's the Sagittarius dynamic. It's like we didn't know that there's a whole different like, you know, system, but it's also in a different fluid play, and it's in a different order for the cosmos. And there's a grand trine within like the north node, like kind of like they say the north node and south node are not necessarily like real planets. I think they're quote unquote esoteric invisible signal planets, and they're egregors in different form. Egregors meaning there's something of a ghost consciousness. It's not that they're real or fake. Shout out to the motherfucking predecessors most respectively. And within that, the north node is in Aries. Rahu is in Aries, so that's a grand trine of Aries, Sagittarii, and Leo. So that grand trine, that synergy circuit is being accurate. It's activated, proliferated, and provoked and activated and channelized. And within that grand trine of the fire, it's influencing us to like, you know, really like perceive this whole everything differently, because the fire is the consciousness of transformation in life. So within that consciousness and transformation of life, we're going towards that quote unquote final conscious frontier, North Node in Aries, where we're doing the hard, individual subjective grunt work to get rewards and pleasure, Leo, moon, and we're feeling that. We're feeling like this, like rewards, spending, quote unquote, chase, advertisement, end quote, chasing, thrills, end quote, or like, spending, economy shit, and like, filing, for like, to, go in this competition so I could win this prize, Leo type of shit. And then Sagittarius type of shit, it's like, we're going on unknown territories. We're stepping on bounds we don't necessarily know. We're going in energy forefronts that we're not necessarily familiar with, but it's okay because that's the journey and the thrill of the adventure. So that's the grand trine that's the grand fire trine, Moon and Leo. I'm gonna keep this one cute and short, and I know I don't look the best, and I know people will judge me on how I look. And I probably should have done this video without the beanie. I mean, without the hood. But that is what it is, Let me see. Oh, I don't want to look like Mr. Potato Head either. But I'm gonna keep this one short. Moon and Leo, it's that treasure chest energy. We're feeling that treasure chest energy. New Sun in Sagittarius, 30 days per season, and that 30 days per season, it's 30 times 12 is 360. So within the sun, that's the sun's cycles, give or take. And within the sun having its own cycles, that microcosm divine feminine mother daughter archetype characteristic, the solar system and the sun, all the human beings are feminine in energy, and that sun is in we're developing the surface level human character, male and female, into a energy temperament area season phase of the constellation of quote unquote the Archer or the Centaur, right? So within that Archer and the Centaur, the divine mother is in that temperament, and she's with the temperament where she's changing her character based on the Sagittarius season, mind you, and take this as a note, before the new moon cycle. And then so this is the new sun in Sagittarius, grand fire trine. Thank you very much.